You tell a story. He does too. Can he one up you? Well, that's up to you. Tell your best tale, and you never know. You could be a winner on the One Upper Show.
Okay, welcome back to the One Upper Show. I'm your host, Ted Blazak. We're in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, again, downtown at the Iron Horse Bar and Grill. Shout out to them for being kind enough to let us record here. And Justin, right?
Preston.
Preston. I'm
Close.
sorry, Preston.
All good.
All right, so Preston, where are you from?
From Bonners Ferry, Idaho originally, but now I live here in Coeur d'Alene.
Oh, you live in Coeur d'Alene. Great.
Yeah.
How long have you lived in Coeur d'Alene?
Probably the last 6 years.
Yeah, are you
Yeah.
liking it?
So far, yeah. I'm here part of the year, and then the rest of the year I'm out and about. So it's I try to get the best of both worlds.
Oh, that's nice. That's
Yeah.
nice. So, okay, you say you got a good story. I'm excited to hear it. What do you got?
I started traveling probably around 6 years ago. First place I went to was the Philippines,
Oh,
and
wow.
had no idea how where we were gonna stay, what we were gonna do. Just decided, hey, I'm gonna go to the Philippines, see what happens. So this trip started off with us, me not being able to find my passport. My flight leaves in 6 hours out of Seattle. I'm 8 hour drive away from there. So we're like, we're gonna figure it out. So I scour the whole house. Can't find anything. I'm the one who put this trip together, and three of my other friends are relying on me to get the crap together and make it happen.
Are you meeting them at the airport?
No, they
or-
actually all came to my place, and we were gonna take off together. So we're all looking for my
So
passport.
you're three buddies that have been waiting for this trip for a lot of anticipation, money, and everything, and you're like, "Oh shit, lost the passport."
Yeah, yeah, and actually, one of the guys that I had met, or that was going on the trip, I had just met him literally probably 3 weeks prior, through Instagram, and so we hadn't known each other that well, but this was already just off to a great start to our friendship, right? Anyways, we're searching around. I was like, I'm not gonna be able to make it. You guys just go. It's fine. And my buddy's like, dude, let me just look one more time. Let me check your car. And I was like, I've literally checked everywhere. You're not gonna find it. He goes in right in the glove box, opens up some papers, boom, right there. It's like two in the morning at this point, and we're like, we still have a 6 hour drive to Seattle. So we're like, I hope you're good at driving fast at night. And so so we end up getting in the car. We get to the airport, probably with an hour and a half to spare. Get on the flight. Super great. Don't know where we're gonna stay yet. And so we cruise over there. We find some hostels. Everything's good. And then we meet up with these girls. We're on the beach. We're hanging out. And
Wait, in Seattle or
no, sorry, Philippines.
So you made your
We
flight.
made our flight. Yeah.
All right, so you make it to the Philippines,
We're-
and you're about to have your great adventure.
Great adventure. We're
Yeah.
and so we're just driving, kind of getting to know the place. And next thing you know, there's this kid that starts chasing us around, and we're like, oh, he's playing tag or whatever. But then he kind of starts talking to himself, and we don't really speak their language.
How old is this kid?
Probably I don't know, maybe I want to say 21, 22, but looks maybe 17-ish.
Okay.
But a little bit homeless, a little bit, kind of dicey. This kid pulls out a rocket launcher.
Shut.
'Cause
What do you
he-
mean rocket.
Well, not a rocket launcher, but I guess a bottle rocket.
Oh.
Choo.
Oh yeah.
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 And so he's chasing us around like we're playing tag. At least that's what we thought. And then all of a sudden he pulls this thing out and just starts from me to you, just points it at us. And I'm he laughs. And then I'm and I try to run.
Yeah.
And so he just starts shooting it at all of us. Anyway, so that was kind of the start to our great adventure. We end up getting away, and he kind of laughs and then goes and terrorizes some other people. The next day we end up going. Sorry.
It's weird.
Yeah.
So you're just hanging out on the beach, and a weird, crazy person in a language of his land that you don't speak
Yeah.
just starts chasing you and firing bottle rockets. at
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Totally. He thought it was funny. It was extreme tag, except for he was the only one that could win.
And then so you guys split.
we jetted out of there as fast as we
it's
could.
probably-
Yeah.
Probably good call.
Yeah. So that was the start of it. And then kind of amidst it, we're traveling from different island hopping around, doing a little bit of surfing, a little bit of skydiving, and then we come to this other island, and we get into this remote village that we decided to crash in because it's getting late. And so we're kind of just exploring. We want to see what's going on. So we go and we go to try to find a waterfall. So we go up and do this hike.
Right.
So we go into the mountains, and we start like we get to this peak that kind of like overlooks the valley, and then we see this other like just across the ridgeline. There's this like little hut or a couple little huts with smoke coming out of it. And so we're like, oh, that like seems cool. So like we're like, well, let's try to get to it. And this was kind of in the afternoon, so I was like, we might be able to make it there before nightfall. If not, we're gonna have to backtrack, and we're just gonna have to like try to make our way back to the villa in the dark. So we trek over there. There ended up being like a ravine or like a creek that was just totally impassable. So we couldn't make it through to the other village. So we ended up following the creek back down, get to the flat ground, and get back to our place where we're staying. And the people that their hosts, they were like, oh, like where'd you guys go? What'd you guys do? We're like, oh, like we saw this house up or these little huts on the mountain. Like there's smoking, and we just wanted to like go up there and kind of like just see what was the vibe up there. They looked at us and they said, "You were where?"
Yeah.
And we said, "Oh, like right over there, like that mountain right there." And they're like, "That is the land of blah 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 blah," like something in foreign language. But basically, it was like the village was called Maneater. And it turns out it was like one of the few little tribes that was still cannibalistic.
Oh my God. Yeah. So you went to the Philippines and you were going to go say hello to some cannibals
Yeah,
and say, hey,
just have a good time. Like, what's up? Yeah.
wow.
So like they're like they still wear loincloth, like they don't know any English, they don't know jack squat. Like you should avoid that at all costs. Not only that, but they have this anaconda that as like a pet to them that
Yeah.
is like they said it's bigger than your car. And they said they it comes around and it eats people from their village, but after it kills the people, then it'll try to eat them, and sometimes it will and sometimes it won't. But when it doesn't, then they eat the the, the remains of the person. So that was
So
that-
these villagers in the Philippines wait in hiding in the woods, in the jungle, for a snake to attack someone so that then they can eat the human remains for their dinner.
more or less. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was that. So needless to say, we only stayed in that part of the Philippines for a very, very short time. And we made our way over to Canggu, or not Canggu, a few other places I can't even remember. And yeah, then we ended up deciding to leave the Philippines with our bodies intact, and it was a good time. So that was the beginning of lots of trips to come. But
Wow.
after that trip, the guy that I just met 3 weeks ago, you could say we were pretty bonded after that point. And, hey man, like I'll take a bullet for you. Listen. And now him and actually his wife, I introduced them shortly after, and we always go back to those stories because it was just like, hey man, if I can meet some guy 3 weeks later travel halfway across the world and go experience this whole crisis like and make it out alive, like we're gonna be good friends for a while, you know.
Wow. Okay, so that's an amazing story. So is this, I'm assuming, your craziest vacation story?
Um,
God, I hope so.
I mean, it's like one of them. Like, it's I travel pretty frequently. Like, I've been gone for the last 4 months. I was in Mexico. I was skiing in the Swiss Alps, and then
Nice.
we took some helicopter tours, and then was um down in just skydiving in San Diego. Oh, we went to Poland to get some skydive training in
wow.
Warsaw, and then did some traveling around some Scandinavian countries, came back for a week, and then left for Hawaii for 2 weeks. Was supposed to go jump out of a helicopter for a brand, but they kind of put the ixnay on that because of insurance reasons
Oh.
temporarily. And then yeah, I'm back home for the summer, and then I'll be off to Croatia for August,
Wow.
and then Bali for September, and then till who knows when. So
Wow, Preston, you have an absolutely fascinating global trotting life. I'm very impressed.
the world is like our house. What good is it if you stay in your room your whole life? You know.
Yeah. Good for you. Good for you. Wow. Okay. Well, that's a great travel story that involves cannibals and bottle rockets and crazy people. Um, Damn. I think you're gonna win a T-shirt. Not sure I'm gonna warm up that one. So I'm trying to think about my. Trying to think about my. All right. Well, this isn't nearly as good a story. All right. There's. Oh my God, no. This isn't. This is stupid story actually. This is okay. Yeah, you win. Okay.
All right.
All right, you win. All right, because I don't have anything where people were really coming after.
Shit.
Well, I got okay. I got one story.
Let's hear it.
I got roofied once in Mexico.
Was she hot?
Yeah, it was a weird situation. It was a very weird situation.
As a dude.
No, it was a dude. It was a dude and a girl. So it was like my wife and I were, or soon to be wife. We were just engaged at that point. We were engaged for like years, actually. But we were in Mexico for a few weeks by Puerto Vallarta, Bocieres.
Mhm.
And go out to this bar the night before. There's a lot of music. We're dancing. We're having a great time. We meet these other two guys who really like the same American. It was an American rock bar. We went away from the typical Mexican place just on this one evening because Kelly wanted to hear the band. And so anyway, we went. We had a great time. We met these guys. They were really nice. They bought drinks. We bought them drinks. Blah blah blah. Made Facebook friends. The next day, the guy tells me he's some sort of like investor, entrepreneur. And the next day he invites me and he says, "Oh, me and my old girlfriend were going out, blah, blah, blah." So we go out. So Kelly says she doesn't want to go.
Sure.
So I walk the 3 blocks to the bar and I sit down and I'm chatting with these people and I have one drink and then I'm feeling a little loose.
Yep.
And then I have the second drink. And halfway through that drink, I'm like, whoa, what's going on? And then all of a sudden, this woman that's with him, she's like, oh, I like you so much.
There it
And
is.
she like leans over and kisses me. And then all of a sudden I'm like, I gotta go. This is really fun. You're lovely people.
Yep.
But I gotta go home. And so I then I managed to stagger out of the bar, and I started walking back to the condo, which was only 3 blocks away via the beach. Apparently, it took me an hour and a half to make that walk because and it was because it's on the dark and it's on the beach, and I get out on the beach and I start walking, and just about like every 6 feet, I just lean over and fall over. And there was all these lovely Mexican people who are on the beach, like young couples in the dark, having a romantic evening.
Sure.
And all these people go, Senor, I help you. And I'm like, no, you people are lovely. It's a lovely country you got here. I'm just great. I'm great. And so anyway, hour later, my wife's texting me what's going on, where I am. This woman is sending messages to my Facebook account. She's like, "Oh, I like you so much. You kiss so good, blah blah." And my wife is reading these, and then I'm pulling out in front of like this small little condo where it's gated, and I'm trying to open the gate. And my wife says she can hear me from 3 blocks away, or 2 blocks away, just breathing heavily. And I'm a bucket of sweat, and I get in, and I'm in front of the pool. And I'm just so hot, and I think we're all alone in the condo. So I just start taking off all my clothes, and I get naked, and I'm trying to take off my socks, and I put my sock up, and that's when I fall into the pool with my socks on. And I didn't know it, but Kelly's just watching me from the 2nd floor condo, and then she gets upset because there was this nice family just got another condo in the complex. So we had neighbors. So she came down to get me and tell me to shut up. And then maybe I think I was roofied. So anyway, that's my probably weirdest travel abroad story.
Sure.
But there were no cannibals.
Listen, I think both are bad, both have their place, and both should be avoided. So
Well, Preston, we're gonna say you're the winner today. You're gonna get a T-shirt, and if you at home in the listening audience can one up Preston's story, we really love to hear you. You can go to the oneuppershow.com or email us at the oneupper.show at gmail.com. And you can listen to us on all your platforms, Spotify and Amazon, and soon iTunes and RSS. So, what's it?
Where can we find?
Oh, Preston, do you have links or social media that you want to share?
I do. Preston.Johnson for Instagram, TikTok, and that's probably my most.
Can people see pictures of your weird travels? And
They
before-
can.
Yeah.
Yep. I think the last one was either me on a motorcycle in Hawaii or us falling out of helicopters in Poland.
You're having a great young life. I'm so happy for you. And
Listen, I can barely take care of myself, let alone another person. So I'm just trying to get through this step in life.
yeah. Well, you avoid those cannibals, and thank you very much for being on the show.
Appreciate
We
your
really
time.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Take care.
The One Upper Show is brought to you by Trailblazing Canvassers and the Burning Sage Productions.